welcome back to the More Taco Encounter. We're glad to have you guys here. It's been a week. It's been a week. How's your week been, Nico?
Not as exciting as your guys'. Mine is pretty chill. Just standard work week, standard life. I mean, nothing really too exciting. Use a couple of zip ties here and there. That's about it. But what was I telling you guys? I got a lot of stock and pan to it.
Yeah.
Just use them anyway.
Yeah, he's ready.
That's about it. That's really all I got.
Making money.
Yeah.
Making money.
Oh, no. I'm just spending it all on zip ties. That's all I do.
Secret.
You need something safe in your house. I got you.
Or if you need somebody put in your trunk, he's got large zip ties.
Yes, the biggest
zip tie king.
If you double it up, we got you. Anyway,
I know this is so random, but every time I see that, like people do that in movies with zip ties and stuff like that, I'm like, how do they not break the zip tie?
Well, there's some good ones.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some really good ones, especially if they're thick.
Yeah,
but some of these small ones, I'm like, they can't even keep my bread together. How's this person not breaking? How's this person not breaking out?
Yeah.
It's not even holding my bread.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That is a good point.
It is.
But trust me, my zip ties, you're not getting enough.
Yeah. Industrial strength.
My week was a bit chaotic, a bit stressful, and then just a little minor thing. Last night I read that they're moving to put The Rock in WrestleMania instead of Cody Rhodes. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know what's amazing? When you're
Johnny
Michael
Manziel
Jordan
right here, dude, right? It's the monies.
When you know how to make a layup and you shoot a 50-foot jump shot, you're just dumb.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just lay it up. You had an exciting week.
I think Joe's is more exciting.
Yes.
I had a week.
Yeah.
I had a week. So our week starts Monday. Not on a great note, right? Some work stuff. But later on Monday evening, I end up getting an email from Arms Race Nutrition. I work with Arms Race as an ambassador through them. And I was picked as one of the people to go work the booth at the Arnold Classic at the beginning of March.
Which is amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah. It's going to be super, super fun. Never done something like that before. I have so many questions. Kind of like what you were talking about yesterday. How does it work? What do I do with my hands? Like, do I just stand there like this with my hands? What do I do? Right. So it's pretty sweet. Going to drive to Columbus. We're going to Airbnb with a bunch of the other ambassadors. And then hopefully I get to arm wrestle Arnold at the Classic. That's the plan, at least.
To segue, obviously, Carl Weathers, we heard about his passing.
Yeah.
When you say arm wrestling, I think about Predator.
Yeah.
He's going to school you the way you can't be Arnold. You could try.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
I wonder how many people are going to go up to him now and try to do the arm wrestle with him.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
And
emotional.
Arnold's going to be a little bit more emotional this time around.
Yeah, he has to be.
For sure.
That was some shocking news.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was training yesterday, and I get the alert on my phone. I don't know if someone texted me if I got an alert. I'm like, Carl Weathers. Session's over. Wrap this up. I was upset. It was upsetting. Someone that we grew up with, right? You got all the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
You got Arnold and Predator. You've got Happy Gilmore. Like all these like staple movies, I think, as we all grew up and went through it. It was sad.
And let's be real. We all saw that clip where he's playing the piano and he has his hand back and does that not hit different now? It kind of hit different.
It does.
Yeah.
He's like singing.
Yeah. You almost imagine he's like happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that he wasn't, but something about it.
It was sad.
It's crazy because it feels like, you reference Happy Gilmore, but it feels like in the last few years, Carl Weathers has had a bit of a resurgence, especially with The Mandalorian, because The Mandalorian was that launching point for Disney Plus, obviously hugely popular franchise in Star Wars. And you're like, dude, Carl Weathers is in this? Like, you're used to seeing bizarre alien creatures and whatnot, but it's just...
And he had a good part.
Yeah, he had a great part.
I really liked his character in it.
It's just surprising. Grief Karga? Is that what his name was in the show? I could be wrong. Star Wars nerds, hit me up. You can slap me in the face. But I feel like it was Grief Karga.
Yeah. I didn't see The Mandalorian, but I know.
It's worth a watch.
I know. Bro. Now I have to watch it.
Bro, my 7-year-old loves it.
Really?
Oh, she looks forward to watching it all the time. Whenever a new series season comes out.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at that because it's throwback Star Wars. I think obviously there's been a lot of pushback with some of the new trilogy and stuff like that. Obviously, by new, I mean 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
But The Mandalorian, and honestly, I agree with a lot of the community out there that has that darker vibe to it. Rogue One, which was an intermediary movie that took place in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and how they got the plans to blow up the Death Star. Like, fantastic movies. Some of these intermediary things are the best part of the universe, especially now that they're coming back. So I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Yeah, you watch.
You're pop culture, dude. It's
Yeah,
a pop
I'm
culture
surprised you haven't
phenomenon.
watched it.
I know it. I don't know why I haven't watched it. Life happened.
Well, now you're gonna have to binge watch it.
Yeah.
After next week, after the Super Bowl. I mean, what else do you have to watch?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no more football.
I think maybe on, this is going to sound bad, it'll be a hands-free device, but maybe that's something I watch/listen to on the way to the Arnold.
Ooh, that's
Not a bad idea.
Good call.
Yeah, that's not bad
Good
at all.
call.
Yeah, I can get a lot done. It's like a 6-hour drive, so it's going to be good.
Or in between
You could go through a whole
performances
season.
at a cheer events.
Or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Because
that.
we're always there. I mean, we have more than enough time
Yeah.
to watch random stuff there.
For sure. So I think, speaking of Carl, right, and Chubbs, I got a question about alligators. I have a proposal for you guys, right? So, this popped up at work. It was an opener icebreaker question to one of our calls, and is do you truly think you can beat an alligator in a race? They can supposedly, from what they say, I don't know who they are, who's actually clocked this, can run 20 to 30 miles an hour on land. I will now and forever call bullshit on that. I don't think it's possible. They're not built for speed. Those little legs, they're just like, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
So I think, I had a different view, and I saw a video the other day, and it kind of changed my mind. I think I beat an alligator in all 3 of my proposed scenarios that I'm going to hit you guys with.
What are the distances? Is that a part of your scenario?
So the first one is a safe scenario where we're just looking at a foot race. 100-yard dash, even do 40-yard dash.
I was going to say, can you shorten it down a little bit for me? 100-yard dash, I don't know.
Far.
Yeah, no, thank you on that. I'm going to lose gas at the end of that.
So I think like a 40-yard dash. So think about that. Think about that for a second. I'm actually glad I said it. So a professional athlete, we got the combine coming up in the next few weeks. There's most guys in that draft, unless you're Tom Brady, run a 4-second-ish, between a 4 and a 5-second 40, right? Mm-hmm. There is no way a gator does that.
Yeah.
No chance. I call bullshit.
Is it a hungry gator?
As hungry as it can be.
I think that plays.
Is there a stick with meat hanging in front of its face that it just keeps running?
That's a good point.
That's a total.
You know what I'm talking about? The old school cartoons where Bugs Bunny had like the carrot hanging in front of him, and he could never reach it.
Yeah,
that's motivated him forward.
I still think you smoke it. He might beat you like off the jump, but the second that you like a big choo-choo train, as you gain speed,
but
it's done.
You look at speed and you just said, okay, if it could clock that mid-20s, right? The fastest NFL receiver is mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's fast.
In a burst.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, are you going 5 yards? Are you going 10? Are you going to full 100?
Yeah.
What are you... Because, okay.
40-yard dash.
40-yard dash.
Do you win or lose? We're going to vote. I say the human adult male wins that race.
Agreed.
Ooh, that's tough. Because, again, I mean, if it's a straight shot, I think a human male...
wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
In decent shape, you know, your average male. Yes.
You bring up a good point too about terrain.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're like in a swamplands, like not even just a swamplands, like you have to figure that scientifically, they got the shorter legs, but they also know how to maneuver through their own ecosystem.
Well, yeah.
And so there are going to be advantages or disadvantages. If you're just in a flat grasslands or on a track, I don't think the gator's got any chance.
No. Well, they're supposed to, if you're getting chased by a gator, it's supposed to be you're supposed to do zigzags.
Yeah, because it can't move.
Yeah, they're not aerodynamic, those legs.
I was going to ask that question too. I mean, can we juke the thing?
Yeah, you could juke.
Okay.
So scenario 1, we're all in agreement that we win in a foot race against a gator.
Yeah.
The next one is not a race. It's more of like a situation, right? So let's say you're within 10 to 15 feet of this gator, right? You're golfing, whatever. and you see a gator on the golf course and you want to like, bust its chops a little bit, you're 10 feet away and this thing charges at you. And you're probably going backwards at this point too. So keep that in mind, right? You're not walking backwards towards the gator. You're walking towards him. And if he comes at you, you got to turn around and go. So you're a little delayed till you get away from that gator.
What's the distance again? 10
like
15
10 feet. Yeah, between 10 to 15
I think there's
feet.
strategy involved in that.
You got zigzags that come up, but do you remember that in a life or death situation?
Well, it depends on the scenario. Again, the scenario and the person. Because, I mean, think about when you're putting on a fire. If you're fire safety certified with an extinguisher, you put that fire out, you're not supposed to turn your back on it. In my mind, I'm not turning my back on the gator at all.
You're backpedaling.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm making that juke move, and I'm sprinting the other direction because he's not going to be able to turn around.
Right.
I'm going the other. He's coming at me. I'm making a move one way or the other, going around him.
Yeah.
Come chase me down that way because I'm not backpedaling anything.
Right.
Ooh.
So I think there's strategy involved in that one.
That's rough.
I say you win.
If you do that, the gator can cut your angles.
You're right.
Yeah.
So you start going here, like you're going here, the gator can cut your angle. 10 feet?
But if I
How
back
big
up,
is this gator?
if you back up, what if there's
You're toast if
So
you back
I,
up.
Yeah, that's
we're
what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
go like one of these like monsters that are like weigh freaking. I don't know how much gators weigh. Like a big full-grown gator. I'm not
And
sure.
obviously, for those viewers who do not understand, there's a massive difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
Yeah.
And isn't there a third one? Isn't there like a third species?
There's probably
There-
a bunch.
Well, there's like a third main name. I don't know what it is, John. If you could look that up, there's a crocodile, alligator. There's something else too.
Yeah.
I sound like an idiot right now. I don't know what it is.
I'll
but
tell
I'm
you.
pretty sure
A
there's another one.
crocodile changes this. Like crocodile, you're smoked.
Oh yes,
Because their jaws will break. If they get a fragment of a hold of you, you're toast.
Yeah.
But an alligator, let's say an average size alligator, maybe a 200, something like that.
Yeah.
10 feet it's so I'm on the golf course and it's like coming out of a lake or a lagoon or something like
it's
that.
out already.
It's out of the
Yeah.
lagoon.
Maybe
And
like
it's
at
chilling.
at the bottom, like kind of an uphill.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Yeah. Real life scenario. He's not just chilling on the ninth hole green. I mean, Chubbs didn't make it. He lost his hand.
I think it's close.
but he got his eye.
but I
he
think
and he got away.
Yeah.
He didn't kill him,
yeah.
right?
And how did Happy get the head?
Well, we saw that. He beat the shit out of him in the lake.
I feel like it's one of those things where as the distance, because these stories you hear about people getting nabbed right along the side.
I think it sneaks up on him.
It's also a short burst.
Yeah.
So 10 feet might be on the edge of where that burst is not a burst anymore.
Yeah.
But if it's a 3 foot, 5 foot burst, I'm going gator because it's that instant burst.
If you're Nico and I distance,
You're in trouble.
If you're that close.
which gets me to my third scenario. But like back to 10 feet, I think you get away. You get away.
I'm gonna say you get away, but it is terrain dependent.
Yeah, it's
I think
tight.
it's terrain dependent.
Yeah.
I'm making that move. I'm getting around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So faster than we
It's
are.
situational awareness.
Yes. Yeah. So then you got the final third scenario kind of touched on. We're within a few feet, and we're eyeballing this gator, and he comes at you. He's probably got you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
cannot. Once it snaps onto you, you're done.
Yeah.
And Nico, you brought up an interesting scenario talking about football players and their max speed once they get up to that like second level. When you're referencing an alligator, I believe that they can get up to 20 miles per hour, but I believe that their max speed is that burst.
Yeah.
That burst is their max
For
speed.
a few seconds.
That first few feet.
Yeah.
It's not, man, that gator's crushing it at mile marker 4. No.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Like,
not happening.
It's that initial slam, the adrenaline thrown through the alligator,
Yeah.
and seeing meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
Food's
the
a big
meat is
motivator.
farther away, gators seem super lazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the taco truck right there, and I see it, I might outrun the gator.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying food is a
Food is
motivator.
yes.
Think about when you get hungry, that's all that's on your mind, right? Whatever food item is on your.
What's the adrenaline? I've busted out this scenario frequently, and we talked about family a bunch last week. Like, there are ways that we can level up our prowess when we get to climactic, difficult situations. Like if my kid was in harm's way, like I'm taking the gator. It's like not even a question.
Yeah.
Like if little Asher's down over there and I see a gator's getting wrecked.
Yeah. I'll take him down right now.
And I might die too. I'm not ignorant. Like I might die too, but my kid is like, that is a motivating force. And I will probably run faster than I'm capable of running.
Yeah.
Because you hear people doing these things out of adrenaline bursts. And then hours later, days later, they're like, oh, I ripped every CL in my body. MLA. Like,
well, I mean,
because they just burst their things in that adrenaline.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen the new Fast and Furious, right? I mean, Vin Diesel picks up a car
from space.
I have not seen that.
Pure adrenaline.
I think I quit after 7.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
When they were racing on the ice and there's a submarine and people flying out of the sky.
Yeah. Rock full of baby oil.
Weren't they just average street racers and now they're submarine racers?
Yeah, now they're professional.
I think I've sent you guys the meme where it's like Fast and the Furious 97.
Yes.
And it's Vin Diesel in a wheelchair. And he's like, still crushing it.
With Nas on the side.
Yeah, like Nas wheelchair.
Nas wheelchair.
So funny.
Just lived his life a quarter mile at a time.
So you went through this scenario with coworkers.
Yeah.
Was this like a conversation start? Like, how does this come up?
Yeah. So usually when we do our weekly calls, me and my counterpart, we talk through. Usually, like the call starts at just say 2:00. We get on usually 10 minutes early, and then we usually take that first 10 minutes to just BS and talk about whatever. We have a guy that's he started working out. He went through a dirty bulk. So like I've been asking him like every call, I'm like, how's the bulk going? He's like, we're on the cut now. I got fat, like so stuff like that. And then this one just, I don't know what sparked it. Actually, it was our Monday meeting sparked it, and I brought it to our call. And man, it definitely. I mean, it went into the call. We went like 10 or 15 minutes into the call before we even got to any sort of work subject.
Let's be clear. That's the best part of the call.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything else was out the window. No one listened.
I think we keep talking about gators for a little while.
For sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I think there was mixed. Obviously, we couldn't get into it as deep as we just did. But, I mean, people got pretty heated about it. Someone dropped an F-bomb on the call.
About a gator race.
Yeah, it was serious, serious stuff.
I think that's more serious than us.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, we should probably get him on here and just get him real fired up about gator talk.
This is a gator defender.
So which one of us is racing a gator? It's not me.
Yeah, I mean, I got this toe problem going on. I don't know if I could do it right now. Eric, you got plantar fasciitis. We're probably all dead.
So that whole conversation, none of us are making it.
Yeah, I think
none of us are making it.
We're not going to make it with the gators.
How funny is it to just think about 3 gators sitting in chairs like we are?
These humans.
Does that scrub Eric have plantar fasciitis? Because I'd wreck Eric if he had plantar fasciitis. I'd
Is
wreck
there a donut hanging in front of them?
Yeah, how do they get the headphones in their ears? Those little arms, you know?
Do they put them in each other's ears with like a sideways backward thing?
Yeah.
Plus,
those like old
they're
people
not even.
claws?
They're just holes.
Yeah,
there's holes.
Do they have ears?
They have holes.
They have holes. Yeah, it's like a
It's like a nodule.
They have nipples?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they do. Maybe.
Can you milk it?
Well, you know, they're a reptile, so they don't. It's not like they feed their young, right? No.
No, yeah, they don't.
No.
Do alligators have nipples?
I don't think they do.
They're not a mammal. I don't.
Yeah,
think,
mammalian. That's.
I don't think.
I'm gonna go no nipples.
What would be a purpose of a gator nipple?
Someone listening, drop a comment. Let us know if they have nipples.
Listen, they don't have nipples. I'm
one of our 6 subscribers.
Yeah.
One of you can get it on your phone right now for us.
Yeah.
Very confident
right
in their non-nippleage. But feeding their young, I think they feed their young.
No way.
No, don't reptiles like go out on their own right away? Like they hatch and they go?
But
lions feed their young by hunting for them.
But like, so obviously, evolutionarily and with biodiversity and stuff like that, reptiles have a lot in common with birds, and birds feed their young through like regurgitation, taking meat and pulling it apart. I'm not talking like Lion King, where they like throwing steaks in front of each other or something like that. But I would be surprised that they didn't feed them at all.
I don't think
I don't
they
know.
do. I mean,
No.
birds, like,
I'm going the opposite.
man, when you say birds and they say they feed their young, I immediately go to Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, when he feeds the bird while he's climbing the mountain. But I don't think they do. I think they're on their own.
I think they're on their own.
Like, you look like a turtle.
Turtles. Bingo. Yes. The minute they hatch, they go right back in the ocean.
They bolt to the ocean.
If they can make it.
Yeah.
And said birds
That's
are going after them.
Specific species, though. Those are sea turtles who come to land to bury their eggs, and then you see that stereotypical thing where
they're
Squirt from Finding Nemo is like trying to get back to
they're so cute though.
The East Australian.
But those parents, the mom, they don't come back to feed them.
No, they're on their own.
That's why they have such a they get eaten. They have they're preyed upon.
Yeah, they lay hundreds of eggs.
Yeah, but they're preyed
knowing
upon
that a ton will not get back to the ocean.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing.
We'll get back to you guys because now my brain needs to know.
Yeah. Good.
Gosh. And Happy Gilmore, man. Just coming back to Carl Weathers, like such, I don't know. Happy Gilmore is a legendary movie in a legendary role. It's so funny how we wrapped with the Gators and come back around. Throwing it out to Carl Weathers. He's been in some legit stuff. Your favorite role. Your favorite
Carl Weathers role.
Ooh, that's tough. Because I loved Happy Gilmore. I got to go with Rocky. I have to go Apollo Creed.
Is there a specific Rocky and a specific Apollo though that gets you?
It's just a scene where he gets on Sylvester Stallone, and I mean everybody has seen it.
Yeah, Rocky
like,
3.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like damn it, Rock. There is no tomorrow. Like
100%.
That scene in itself. You could ask my wife. I talked to her about it. She was, and I had to remind her who he was. I think Carl Weathers hits men differently because we're Rocky fans. We're Happy Gilmore fans. I mean, Mandalorian, a lot of guy type roles. So to me, it's that motivational version of him. I was digging that one.
I tend to agree. I think he kind of goes through that character shift, even in Rocky 2 a little bit, where so in Rocky 1, he's just the champ, and there's that one-upsmanship. Like, everybody wants to see the underdog knock out the champ.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
had that
a
villain. It was that villain mentality, that villain role.
He's the villain. And the second time around, when he knows, when he has that humble knowledge that Rocky's his equal, and it motivates him to be greater, and it kind of he turns the corner in that movie, and that's the guy who becomes the Rocky 3 guy who can work with Rocky Balboa.
He has that compassion.
Yeah.
The minute that compassion came into his life, and he became more of a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
That was definitely the crowd winner for me.
So, what about you, Eric? Where's your favorite Carl Weathers movie role?
I lean towards what you're saying, but I mean in Rocky, but I think there was something for me being a Star Wars fan and with The Mandalorian. You could tell he was at the end of his career, but also in a new place in his career where he could just let loose and he didn't give a rip. It had that Happy Gilmore vibe to it.
It did.
He was having fun.
Yeah.
And there's something, it's almost like retirement-esque, because you think about your career and how you got to bust your butt and you got to be taken seriously and you're trying to prove your worth. And as an actor, I'm not an actor, but like in all these roles, you're like, listen, I'm going to bust it out. I'm going to show them what I'm all about. And then you get to a place of peace and you're just like, I think I'm going to take this role and wing it and have some fun doing it.
He kind of killed it.
Because
And
I'm
he
Carl
crushed-
Weathers.
He did kill it.
And he crushed it, but you can tell he's having fun. And so maybe Apollo Creed would be like the single role that impacted me the most. But I think maybe the lasting memory I'll have of Carl Weathers will be with Mandalorian, because he's a low-key, like, bar owner, gunslinger, I don't give a crap, Mando. Yeah, I got your. He's loyal.
Yeah.
He's got Mando's back, and he does all this stuff, and but he's got that Han Solo-ish kind of rebellious edge to him. You don't even know what we're talking about.
I don't.
Yeah, he's looking
You
at
son
you.
of a gun.
You see his
No.
eyes glazed over.
That one's
So-
not. So
so
that's
it's
not
like-
my favorite role of his.
Yes.
I almost feel like that's unfair.
I think that will be my lasting memory of him. And when you lose people and when you're talking about loss, I think sometimes it's powerful when you're like, I think all of us, and I don't know about you guys, and this is a slight aside, but like when I think about loss is something that's impacted me heavily. And what does your legacy look like? Legacy is a complicated word, but like for my wife and kids, I always try to tell them, whether I'm leaving the house, whether I'm hanging up the phone, that I love them. Because someday someone will have their last memory of me, and what is it? And so I think it's comforting for me as a Carl Weathers fan to know that he was enjoying a role that was kind of outside his box, having fun, just ripping it.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. I have to watch it. I'll have 12 hours of driving to knock out something, so maybe that's on the list. For me, man, that's a tough one. His role in Happy Gilmore is really awesome. I mean, the wooden hand, like they don't even fake that it's fake.
Man.
You know, like
It's
all that
just
stuff I
so-
love. But I actually really like his character in Predator. I think he comes in as this guy that worked with Arnold and he's most notorious in that movie for his the handshake and the air arm wrestling with Arnold. And he ends up turning to be kind of the villain in that as well, almost like a setup. He knew this was all going to happen. Well, obviously not knew that there was this giant alien dude with sweet dreads out there, but like he knew some shit was going down. And then at the end, when they realized like everything that was happening, he turns into I'm gonna take one for the team, and I'm gonna take this guy out. And then he obviously gets taken out by the Predator. But like that role of his was impactful in that movie. And Predator's just one of like my all-time favorite movies. I think I grew up in that movie. I don't know what year did that movie come out? Like in the late 80s? Early 90s?
I think early 80s. I think something like 82, 84.
Yeah, I don't know. But obviously born in mid 80s. But I was just talking to one of my clients this morning about how I grew up watching movies. It was just kind of what we did as a kid, and my parents being a little bit older and divorced and stuff. So I watched a lot of stuff, and Predator was always one that I gravitated to. So I would say Dylan in Predator is my Carl Weathers.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let me flip that back around, and let's keep it at 3, and we can take Rocky as a series. But I'm going to respond to yours because if I had a choice and I had to watch this movie on repeat, or if I had to like dive into it, and of the 3 primary Carl Weathers roles, from Happy Gilmore to Rocky or Predator, I think I would choose Predator as a movie. I would choose Predator as a movie over those other ones. Despite the cultural impact of Rocky, I think I would probably lean Predator. How about you guys for movie that you had to sit and watch on repeat, something like that?
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely that or Happy Gilmore for me.
Yeah.
It's a mix for those.
I can see that. And if I'm going to play one of the Rockies over and over again, it's going to be Rocky 4. And unfortunately, he does die in that one. But I mean,
that's your favorite Rocky?
That is by far my favorite Rocky. I don't know if it's the whole, East versus West, and
He's got a beard.
America.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if
Sly grows a beard.
I definitely like 3 and 4 better than 1 and 2. I do.
And that was right around the time the Soviet Union fell and all that. So I mean, that was a very cultural type movie at the time. But if I'm going to say movie, I would say Predator. But going back to Carl Weathers and each character, I think we all like the portion of him where he became compassionate in every one of those movies. I mean, he shifted in every one of those
It's a great
movies
point.
or series.
That's really
he was very, I wouldn't even say arrogant, but he's just a dude, a guy's guy. I'm all about me. It's just solo. I could just do whatever.
Yeah, total bro.
And then he kind of transforms into that compassionate person, and he takes one for the team.
That's a great point. That is legitimately.
I like that.
I haven't seen The Mandalorian, but
Dude,
Very
he
much
does that
like-
in The Mandalorian
There
too.
you go.
We're not gonna break
We're not
down the
gonna ruin
details. You got to watch it, but
yeah,
there is that too.
he kind of he pulls on the heartstrings at every one of those characters.
Yeah.
So I think that's why this one hits home to all of us.
It's only just begun.
You would.
Well, that being said, maybe we should wrap up here and just, in memory of Carl Weathers, we think for you, praying for his family, obviously. Like, there's so many layers when you lose somebody. I think sometimes for us, it's easy for us to sit here as like armchair jocks, so to speak, and like, but he's got a family out there and he's made an impact far beyond his acting. But I think acting is one of those professions where he can give a gift to 3 dudes in a basement, hanging out, chatting on a podcast. He made an impact on us.
Yeah, for sure.
And I promise I won't cry. I'm still not gonna cry.
Still not gonna cry.
Turn the camera off. We're gonna cry. Yeah, we'll cry session.
We will cry.
During break?
Yeah, during break.
During break.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. Next time we'll see you guys on the More Taco Encounter, and much love to Carl Weathers and all of his loved ones out there.
Rest in peace.